Welcome to Mass Fatalities. I'm your instructor, Sean McKay. Let's get started. So, what is a mass fatality? Basically, it's an incident in which there are more bodies that can be handled or more victims that can be handled uh, than your local resources are available to. Uh, since communities are vary in different sizes, this could be from one or two to a large number. It all depends on your facility and your ability to absorb victims. So each day there's a mass fatality somewhere uh, in the world, and especially in the United States. Um, so EOPs or emergency operation plans um, must be in place. And these are not only that happen on the facility themselves, but also that come in due to the mass uh, fatality events, such as terrorism or a car accident or a mass shooting. And of course, the on-scene fatalities are most times are taken care of by the first responders on scene, where they are taken care of and they are you know done what they need to do to take care of it. However, there are times that en route when they are coming in that they die, and because of their injuries they no longer perform CPR or life-saving events, so they are going to show up at the facility with a deceased body, so that the facility has to take care of that. Or there are times that the due to the amount of time that they've been doing something, they're going to terminate the care for that person because they're no longer viable. Again, that body is going to show up at the facility. Again, as part of the EOP, you've got to have a plan to deal with mass fatalities, and in one fell swoop, you can be overwhelmed. If you're a small facility, if you got two or three people that come in that are deceased, you're going to be overwhelmed. Um, the aspect of what your morgue can take may be overwhelmed. Most fatality SUNY facilities only have a small morgue that usually deals with the people that are there inside the facility. So a mass fatality is going to overwhelm that morgue very quickly. So you got to have plans to take care of that problem. Uh, Again, it may be violence, maybe an accident, maybe a disease, uh, any number of reasons that may cause a mass fatality. And of course, the EOP must plan on how to handle this event in a timely manner. Um, we understand that if you have a lot of victims, you know, taking care of dead bodies and deceased people is not your vital important. However, you need to be able to move those bodies from your ER and get them out of the way and out of the sight of other people, and away where they can be identified and taken care of properly, and prepare for the next step in the process. So each facility, again, as we talked just a minute ago, has a different capability to deal with the number of bodies that they have. And again, there's no hard number. Depending on what's going on in your day-to-day basis in your hospital, whether you're having an outbreak of disease, whether you just happen to have a large number of fatalities due to uh, medical reasons, and a mass fatality event comes in, you don't know what's going on, or what's going to overwhelm your facility. Again, we got to have the proper treatment and the storage of the bodies, either on location or off-site location. And you may have to use a refrigerated truck for facilities, or other some capability or an ability to get them off site real quickly by getting funeral homes to pick up in a timely manner. Again, there's no issue with asking for help. Whether you're asking for funeral homes to come faster, or the ME's office to come um, help you, uh, get the help that you need. If it's a large enough event, um, the DMORT or disaster mortuary operational response teams may be activated. Um, and these are experts in death that deal with, the proper identification of bodies, the proper preparing of bodies in a mass fatality event. Again, maybe you have uh, a disaster that's happened. Maybe you had a building collapse. Maybe you had a mass shooting. These people are, individuals that are well versed in taking care of large amounts of bodies and helping your facility take care of them. So, what do we got? What are they going to do? They're going to track and document the human remains, personal effects, establish temporary morgue facilities, assist in the determination of cause and manner of death, which can be very important depending on the event, uh, collecting data, collect medical records, dental records, DNA, post-mortem data collection, and field retrieval and morgue operations. And they're just going to take care of everything that needs to be taken care of. And then also make sure that the, you know, bodies are buried in the proper manner or passed on to the facilities that need to take care of those bodies. It's finesse. This is not an easy thing to do. Um, we have to deal with a lot of things when it comes to, you know, a large amount of dead bodies. Um, you know, depending on the event, they may be evidence has to be collected. Whether it's their clothing or pictures have to be taken. Most facilities or large PDs have forensics departments. If it's determined to be a federal event, maybe the FBI is involved, or the ATF is involved. Um, Again, we have to have protocols for such a circumstance to make sure that everything is taken care of and everything's followed as it needs to be done. And we have to coordinate with our authorities to make sure that any input that they have and what any evidence that they may be looking for, um, and whatever maybe special care of a body that needs to be taken care of. Again, they may need special handling because of the event, whether maybe it's a WMD, weapons of mass destruction, a radioactive event, maybe they have a disease. So we have to make sure that the bodies are taken care of in a proper manner and stored in a proper manner. And then, of course, we got to have tracking procedures and identification of the bodies as to who they are, where they go, who took them, and what evidence is taken and whatnot. Expect chaos. There's going to be a lot of sick people. There's going to be a lot of well people. There's going to be a lot of mental issues depending on the event. There's going to be media. Media is going to come out of the woodwork, and of course, there'll be family members and friends looking for loved ones that are going to come out of the woodwork and inundate your facility. You're going to have your phones blowing up. Oh, do you have protocols to take care of your phone services and route messages to people? Do you have a public information officer that's can be stood up to take care of it? Do you have areas that you can route people to uh, from your family members to your media. You got to remember, you got to have these separated. You got to make sure that their facilities are in a different area because you don't want the media having to, burden the family members with even getting interviews or taking pictures of them. Um, this is their right to have privacy at this point. So you want to make sure that they're separated. Again, EOP's got to have a setup for your mass media. You got to have messages that go out via television, radio, your website, your Facebook, Twitter, or whatnot. Because if you have a Facebook or Twitter account, they're going to start blowing up, um, especially if you don't handle it well. Uh, you're going to get bad press. People are going to be screaming at you. People are going to be saying things about you. You want to get out in front and have a plan to take care of these issues. Again, families are going to be difficult to deal with. They're going to be upset. They may be distraught. They may be mad. Uh, Depending on the event, people may be looking for revenge. Um, Depending on the event, maybe two rival groups have shown up, and then they're going to start fighting. Any number of things can be happening. So we want to make sure that we have security on location to ensure that we, take care of it. We got to have nursing staff. You got to have clergy members or social workers to take care of the staff and take care of the people that are there that are grieving. And communications with the family is really important. Um, you got to have a process of having a list of the victims that you have, that you know that you have, and the deceased bodies that you have. Um, Making sure that you have some type of identifying information on those uh, bodies to, quickly say, okay, I'm looking for my daughter, and this is what she was wearing, or this is what she looks like. You should have a list that has some basic information on it to say, okay, I have somebody or have something that maybe this, let me double check. But you want to have that basic information so that you know who you're looking for and you can match bodies with people that are looking for personnel or people. And of course, you have to have a procedure for viewing dead bodies. Um, Again, bodies must be taken care of with all due respect. Do your best to make them presentable and to allow the family members to see them. And of course, you got to have careful identification and tracking the dead bodies and the deceased to document where they're going and who is dealing with them. Again, you may want to coordinate with your county, your region mass fatality planning. Most of these have some type of large mass scale event that is, you know, tied in with the public health department and or first responders. And of course, it must be consistent with the national regulations, local regulations, and national incident management system. And training, we got to have training. We can't just do this blindly and expect our personnel to know what to do. You got to have procedures for your personnel that register people and track people. You got to have people trained on how to transport bodies and how to store them, and of course, on how to do the proper identification process. And of course, we have major impact on the staff. Depending on the event, it may be affecting them mentally, especially if there are children involved or horrific, injuries. Staff may be affected. And so we want to make sure that we take care of the staff after the event. Have a quick debriefing session, have follow-up sessions, follow up with people that seem to be having issues after the event. Make sure that you offer them counseling and ways to talk about what they saw and how it's affecting them. Well, thank you very much for this discussion. And if you have any issues or any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me in class.